Right, something that's just come through in a little sun rising meditation is a lot of us are changing frequency right now, and the language of energetics is becoming sort of the law by which we live by. And as we're on this path of self-observation, we tend to pick up more subtle energies around us and in the dynamics of relationships. And it's interesting to note that obviously with the work that us lot are in, or empathic, we are naturally givers, and obviously we've learnt to not do anything at a point where we deplete our own energy or we remain around other energies that could be considered energy vampires, because it is a real thing. And this is why looking more at feeling over thinking, and feeling over what somebody presents themselves as in the physical in this world is going to sort of dissipate, and we will all learn how to discern better and work with energy more. And I think I've just been observing a few things recently, and in this line of work I was saying, we give, we want to help people. It's part of the healing work because we have gone to a depth that perhaps other people haven't. Not that they don't have the capacity, everyone has the capacity, but many of us are put in different life situations and go into it with different eyes and different objectives according to soul mission, soul purpose. And I've just been observing things recently, and it's interesting when people consider you a friend or giver. And we don't give to receive, but it's interesting, we don't really expect much, you don't really ask people for much. It's not really how one likes to operate. And but then when you do ask for something, it's sort of met with resistance and you're not a priority. So I'm learning, I'm not in the hermiting stage anymore, but I am in a phase of spending a lot less time around people because I like my own energy. I like to be calm and peaceful, and I think at the minute there's a lot of people that are unaware of how to manage their emotions. And this isn't a judgment or a critique, it is a product or a result of the energies that we are moving through. I am becoming more sensitive, therefore my discernment has to level up, just like we are all leveling up. My needs in any relationship and dynamic have to be met, otherwise I'll just dip out. Like, I don't like the vibration of people expecting things off me, and Victoria being a constant tap of love and goodness, and then should I need something, which is very rare and not a lot, it's not prioritised. Like, it doesn't make me feel respected, doesn't make me feel loved, doesn't make me feel equal or balanced in that dynamic. And as I said, at the minute with this, if someone doesn't text you or ask you to go out, or friends or date or whoever, then what's the point? It's one-sided. Someone might be scared or shy because people have said I've got an intimidating energy, which, I've done videos about before, which I find very bizarre because, a bit of a joker, I don't really take too much seriously unless there's energetic things going on that I need to transmute, and I tend to pull away. And if people don't allow me that space, then they will see a very different side of me, because I know what I need now. Like, when we learn to identify our needs on this healing journey, it's quite rewarding, and it means that we won't ever settle, and we won't ever forget ourselves again and fall asleep on ourselves. And I think when we go on the healing journey, there are people, lovers or friends people that we meet, and who we feel we might be of a similar vibration, but in fact it's actually just our light reflected back, and they might need some of our light. And I'm not saying that these people are bad, but reason, season, lifetime, we outgrow versions of ourselves, and when we outgrow versions of ourselves, we outgrow the people around us. And there is a lot of that happening at the minute because of the accelerated rate at which one can tap into the messages and the downloads that are coming through. If we choose to surrender, if we choose to live in a love vibration, because the fear, a lot of people don't realise how much fear they're living in, how much restriction they put on their daily choices, how much freedom they do not allow themselves access to. I don't live there, and so for me it's very easy to identify that. And like I said before, I can't go around saying, oh, you're living in fear, you're living in... No, but it's energy, and I will not put myself around that energy. It's different if you work with someone and you're supporting them, and I do minimal work with people because I don't like codependent relationships, and I think having trained myself out of that, it's easy for me to pick up on when there's codependency around, and I don't believe that that's healthy. I think we all need to be able to flow in and out of relationships with love and respect, and no gossip and no jealousy and no bitterness and no resentment for somebody moving ahead on their path at what might be deemed a quicker rate than someone else, when none of this is about time and speed. It's about surrender, it's about love, it's about what we allow into our own lives. And some people restrict what comes their way through fear. And I don't want that around me, and I certainly don't like people having expectations of me and not bothering on their side. So, I realise, and this is where I'm not a lonely person. It's lovely to have company, and we all go through moments of grief and lonesomeness. But this is where we learn that this is a solo path, that being around people all the time is a unhealthy need. It's a codependent tendency. And I believe this year, with everything and the healing work that all of us are doing, that many of us are doing, because all of us are not doing it. Some people literally just don't give a shit, which, it's a shame, but we don't see what we don't see. And only until we have that massive moment of awakening will we be able to, 720, number 9, will we be able to say, oh, that's for me, or that's not for me, and I'm going to carry on working towards my greater goals. And when I say this, like, life is not about goals. I'm not that kind of driven masculine energy. I just have a vision and a dream that has been seen and is being manifested. And it's making me happy at a soul level, so we must continue to do that. And yes, there are practical needs in this world, but I'm not of this world. So when we know that we're only here to experience life in the sort of living way, then we can learn to connect with other energies that guide us to our soul purpose and soul mission, which is what might be interpreted as a goal or an ambition or objectives. But when we let our soul lead, it's not driven out of ego, it's driven out of a desire to be part of the collective healing, and a desire to be part of a cog in a bigger wheel. And just think there's beautiful learnings at the minute, and I think that I'm getting much more disciplined and practicing much more discernment around external energies and people expecting me to be okay with a minimal level of effort and reciprocity in my life when I don't ask a lot off of anybody at all. And I'm very grateful for the help that I've had since I've obviously been on the nomadic journey and around, but I don't expect anybody to help me. We can't. We do have to help ourselves first and foremost, and it's lovely to have loving beings around us. And there is no but to that. However, codependency is not healthy, and taking continually is not healthy, and not prioritising somebody else's requests or desires or needs when they meet yours is not in balance. It's not a healthy relationship, and without communication, that can never be equal, realised, because talking, the voice, obviously there's, I'm talking about, we're at high dimension 5D relationships are telepathic, but we still live in the physical earthly plane most of the time. So without these kind of expressive actions, the other will not know where we stand, where they stand. So go slow with these energies, but, realise sometimes that not everybody is out to reciprocate. They just want to take your energy, and they just want to leech off you, and that can affect, if we're not aware of the spiritual nature of life and things going on in ether, it can affect our physical body. Like, I lost a lot of weight when people doing spell work and leeching energy off me, because they can spot a light in you earlier than you spot it in yourself, and so they befriend you and use it to their advantage, try to take, or I was going to say weigh in, I don't know why that's coming in. Yeah, I guess it's like an oppressive energy to swap mission soul paths, or leech off yours. So 113. I don't think I've got anything else to say, but just please, this is a powerful light that's coming through. We can rise higher, and 1144. They want me to say, and yeah, I think I'm lost in a tangent. Bye.